because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by my good friend Luke Willis. Mate, it has been way too long. How are we?
I'm all good, Oscar. Good seeing you, lad. Good seeing you coming over to me, lad. Dragging me in here, lads. Thank you. Thank you for having me, lad.
Always just a pleasure. You know how I feel about you. Like I said, you're a good man. And I want to see you back in the ring, which you will be. We'll talk about that in a sec. But I guess this is the first time you've been back to York Hall since the defeat to Gavin Gwynn. I was going to say, is there any kind of feeling around, even just like walking in the back or the changing room?
Excitement? I don't feel like Joe, if it got battered and I'd got beat by someone who I thought who was better than me, then yeah, I'd have been. But I let that fight slip myself. You know what I mean? I know whose fault that was. It was my fault. So there's no major I come back in, I'm scared or anything like that, you know what I mean? I just come back and I'm just like, yeah, I want this, you know what I mean? I come back and I got excited instantly. As soon as I literally just made Faz's fight, as soon as me and Sean walked through the door, the touching gloves, so as soon as I come in, I was like, wow, I missed this. This is, just got excited, yeah, just got the blood boiling, mate, and got just excited, mate, yeah, ready.
Yeah, because that was, April last year? And then obviously I've seen things you put out on Instagram, we haven't spoke personally since, but you were dead set on retirement. This wasn't kind of a flirting with it, undecided. You were dead set. It was the defeat to Gavin Gwynn, and it was kind of I'm cutting the ties from professional boxing.
Yeah. It was just my mindset at the time. And long stories. I could sit here forever. Lads, you'd run out of battery on the camera, lads. You know what I mean? But it just my surroundings, everything in the bar, everything. That I just weren't enjoying it. Do you know when you stop enjoying fighting? And I remember Lee was messaging me saying, look lads, we'll get you back, and a few managers messaging me saying, look, and I'd say, look, thank you, but I fell out of love with the sport. So at the minute, no, I've got 2 kids to feed, boxing's not putting any food on the table, I need to go and work, you know what I mean? And then when I work, I had about 5 jobs. Oscar never time I went to a job, got last of the day, and I was like, fuck this, mate, I'm off, I can't work here. Right, and that's not me looking down on it, you know what I mean, but I've worked too hard to settle for something like that, so I've come back, I've got a new team, new manager, new strength and conditioning coach, new coach, and I'm enjoying it, mate, I'm happy, you know what I mean, I'm literally, my coach is giving me the weekend off, and I'm itching to get in the gym, he's having to lock me out the gym, you know what I mean, and I'm eager to go, and it's more the fact that I know what I'm going into now. I've been in them 8 rounders, 10 rounders, 12 rounders, title fights, top the bills, and I know what I'm getting into. So there's no point in having experience if you're not going to use it, mate. And I'm using my experience now, and I'm a champion in the making. You know what I mean? You got to become the champion before you become the champion, and that's what I'm doing now.
Was it nice to have kind of a headspace away from the sport as well? Because I can imagine. I was going to say when was your debut, but not even the debut before that when you're an amateur. It consumes so much of your life. Yeah. Even if it's not kind of in camp, I can imagine sitting back on the sofa, you're thinking about this, you're thinking about rankings, and was it nice to not have it consume you?
I maybe had a nice month, you know what I mean, where I was like, how sound, and I can go for a scram with the kids, and I don't have to think about training and that, but it wasn't even that, lad. It was more the fact that what the loss done to my life, you know what I mean, it unravelled a lot of shit, you know what I mean, so it wasn't the fact, boxing is my life. Ever since I was a baby, all I knew was boxing, so it wasn't the fact that it's not like I hated boxing. I hated what it was, where I was. You know what I mean? So everything around it, I just needed to let go of it. You know what I mean? And I just needed time and space for myself to think and go, right, what do I want? You know what I mean? And that's nothing towards anyone who's an army. They're all good people. You know what I mean? It's just, it weren't for me. The day you stop learning in boxing is the day to swing them up. And I stopped learning. I didn't feel like I was progressing anywhere. So I was like, time to hang them up, because people get beaten, you get straight back in the gym and straight back to doing the same thing and carry on getting beat. It's like, nah, I need to switch things up. I need to sit with this defeat here. Why did I get beat? That's why I got beat.
Do you look at it kind of in terms of, sorry to interrupt you, just think about that. Do you look at it in terms of you could be sitting there now with 3 defeats on your record, 4 defeats on your record, because you'd have been going back into fights of that level with the same.
Who knows? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But what I do know is myself. And I'm not saying I'm the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm not soft. You know what I mean? And especially with boxing, there's one thing I do know what I'm talking about is boxing. I know me boxing. You know what I mean? And I might know maths or English or anything like that, mate, or any of these jobs. That's not my trade, but my trade's boxing, and I know where I went wrong in my last fight. And I know the people who beat me. Do you know where I went wrong? And it was the worst version, but no excuses. All good to Gavin Gwynn. Congratulations, you beat me. Shook his hands, good lad. You know what I mean? But I'm coming back, mate, and talk's cheap. And you're going to see me next fight, and the fight after, and until I'm mandatory. And then whoever's got the title, mate, it's mine. It's mine. As I said, look, I'm the champion in the making. Right? You got to become the champion. You got to live like the champion. You've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to get them runs in. You got to get them spars in. You got to get them hard sessions in. You got to be hungry. You got to be consistent. You know what I mean? And that's what I am. And I know where I'm going. And as well, I'm not getting any younger. So this is like my last 4 or 5 years, right? And I'm giving it 110% every day. Even on my rest days, I'm resting properly, I'm recovering properly. Mate, as I said, talk is cheap. I'm not sitting here going, oh, I'm going to come and smash everyone's fucking head in, I'm going to come do this. Just fucking watch when I come back. You're going to, that person who was in here in April last year, you're not going to see that again. I promise you, you're going to see a fucking 10 times better person than that. Guaranteed fact. I know for a fact.
There's only one bit of maths I want to see from you, and that's a 1-2, mate. Missed it. I've been hoping slowly you'd be coming back. Have you? Obviously, boxing is an unpredictable sport. Have you let yourself think about kind of the end goal for you? Obviously, you don't know. You could have 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Have you let yourself think about the end, or is it just kind of take as it is now?
Yeah, well, that's what I did with that year out. I was sitting there and I was thinking, what the fuck am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck am I was sitting there thinking, do I be a bricklayer? Do I go to college and to uni to be a spark or a plumber? And I was like, no. I'm a fucking boxer, you know what I mean? So, and now it's unraveled a little few things in my head where I actually do know what I want to do with my life. But at the moment, I'm a professional boxer. So I'm going to be a professional boxer. And I'm going to give it 100%. I'm not dipping my toe into this or that. I'm a professional boxer at the minute. And until I'm not a professional boxer and I've done what I've set out to do, that's the only thing I am at the minute, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was the worst and best thing that happened to me.
Just one more thing. You told me off camera, but just for people listening, you have got a date locked in, 8 weeks today, in fact. And time moves quickly in boxing, man. So I can imagine, there's excitement there. Perhaps, I don't know, a little bit of nerves even. It's not far, 8 weeks.
Yeah. As I said, I like to think I'm a bit experienced. I know I've only had 12 fights, but I've already boxed with British Commonwealth titles. I've boxed these hard cases, you know what I mean? People who come to try and take me head off. I've boxed on the big shows, and I like to think I've got a little bit of experience. Not tons of it, you know what I mean? I'm a sponge, mate, I only know 10%, you know what I mean? So I'm walking in the gym and dry sponge, learning every day with Paul. And yeah, no, not nerves. Excited, mate, because I know what I'm doing in the gym is going to work. And I know what I'm going into now. I know, as I said, no point in having experience, you're not going to use it. So I know exactly what I'm going into, and I just want to thank my team, Tom Stork at GSW, Paul Walmsley, new coach, and Jake Clark, my strength and conditioning coach, to get me in a great place and to keeping me consistent, keeping me enjoying my training and learning most of all, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm enjoying it, I'm excited. Yeah, I'll get nervous before the fight. People who say they don't get nervous before the fight, they chat shit. They chat shit, you know what I mean? But I'm nervous now. No, I'm fucking excited, mate. There's a fire. I've got a team that I need to put to bed. Right, I'm winning a 6 round or an 8 round. It's not going to put that demon to bed, but it's a step closer. So until I win that British title, mate, I'm not going to put a demon to bed. You know what I mean? I'd love the rematch with Gavin Gwynn. I would love it, but is it going to happen? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? No one knows what the future holds. But I'm not going to sit here going, I want the rematch and I want this, I want that, because that's not boxing. Right? But what I am going to do, I'm going to aim myself into a position where if that rematch is there, I'm going to take it. Or whoever's got the title, when it's there, it's mine. You know what I mean? So that's my mindset at the minute.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If if you want the honest truth. And I see it every day.